This Toxic Avenger promo release, uncut. This is the only way to see a lot of this stuff back in the day. That's how I started, just renting. I was getting out 20 films and watching them in a week. I just love movies.
They call us tape heads, a nostalgic breed of video hoarders. Join me as I take a look at some of the most insane collections. Search the wild for that next rare find. And bask in the glory of VHS.
Early 2000s, I was buying a lot of X-Rental tapes. I was always into movies. I was into Charlie Chaplin, Three Stooges, and then always got early into horror. It's the section I wasn't allowed to go in. Section I wasn't allowed to rent anything from, so naturally I wanted to watch horror movies, look at the back covers and be freaked out and still want to look at it, want to rent it. That's how I started, just renting. Mum would let me and my sister get out 5 collectively. I'd get out 3. My sister would get out 2. And it got to the point where I was just watching them 3 movies as soon as I got home. So she'd just let me get out like 7 and then 10. And then when I got my own money, I was getting out 20 films and watching them in a week. I just love movies. It's just always been there. My dad loved movies, my grandma loved movies. It's kind of genetic. First movie I remember ever watching was The Bear, which was like a French film. I was always into adventure and fantasy as a kid. So I watched a lot of stuff like Deathstalker, like Kroll the Conqueror and stuff like that with Kevin Sorbo. Deathstalker was a childhood fave just for that cover. And then when you see the movie, there's nothing that cool in it. This was the kind of stuff that got me into tape collecting. These kind of fantasy films, you know, cool as cover art, and then you watch the film and it's just rubbish. And this one I used to rent religiously as a kid. Clash of the Titans. Where it all started, the fantasy kind of stuff, which always usually tends to lead into horror, I found. This was actually my oldest VHS that I have that's original. But this is a Ray Harryhausen early stop-motion animated film that I used to watch the shit out of as a kid. So yeah, it's on 10 Star. I got it at the Reject Shop. Because I wasn't allowed to get out the horror, I'd go to every other section that I could. I even got into wrestling because I'd done every single PG I could watch. I had this strategy where I'd take over an hour and a half in the video shop and my mum would just be like, just get anything, I don't care anymore. And so you just get out like, alright, Islander Perversion, Deadly Spawn, sweet, you know.
I wish I had to use that plan.
My first ever horror movie, a rating of PG, featuring the hit music by Michael Jackson. Roland Emmerich's Making Contact. This was a childhood fave, as well as Ghost Chase. Got a hamburger eating a kid, so it's a great film. Got some of my novelty cases up here. There's a Mondo favourite of mine, Sweet and Savage. It's got a fold out.
So explain Mondo for us.
It used to just be like a travel kind of film where, you know, they'd show you the weird cultures of, you know, different countries or places around the world, and then it just kind of turned into shockumentaries like Faces of Death. Mondo Cane 2. I had Mondo Cane 1, but it's like a dodgy Dutch release rip. Yeah. This is the only way to see a lot of this stuff back in the day. This is by the masters of Mondo, Jacopetti and Prosperi. Termed the word Mondo from these movies. Paramedics was one that I used to want to get out as a kid, because what kid doesn't want to watch a doco with a guy's face like that? Mum would never ever let me get it out, of course, but eventually I did that old hour and a half trick, and yeah, Paramedics was mine to take home for a week. Being Different in 7 Keys. It's kind of like a weird documentary with, like, you know, lots of people with different kinds of deformities or how they live their life. This is my favourite doco of all time, and favourite Mondo. I've got Palace Explosive, which people used to think there was a silver version, but that's just sun fade. These were all red.
Yep.
This is quite badly faded, but it's a hard one to get. It's just something about the cover art, like, you know, some of these tiny companies that started off in Australia, like KNC and Go Video, they were doing their own cover art. Some of it's really crap, but it's something endearing about it. It's just like...
It's unique, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's got
like,
its own look.
You're never going to find this cover art or artwork anywhere else in the world. It's purely Australian. So once that's dead, that's like, it's like a bit of history gone in a weird way. Money comes and goes, these tapes. You know, once you get rid of some of them, good luck finding it ever again.
What's your most prized tape?
This Toxic Avenger promo release, uncut. This is the only known copy in its promo form.
What would you do if you busted someone trying to steal that?
I'd probably take the tape out, pull out the tape, strangle them with it, and then stomp their head. You fucked with my tape! Is that enough?
Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm from the UK. I collect ex-rental VHS tapes. I've been collecting on and off since I was a teenager. I've probably got about 400 or 500 at the moment, but I used to have maybe 1,500. I'm a big fan of horrors, 80s comedies, stuff I used to rent back in the day really. I also collect The Wraith on VHS from different countries of the world. I think I've got about 19 now. I'm admin in the Video Club UK Facebook group. So go join that if you're not already a member. And I met my wife through VHS collecting. She was on Facebook as well, selling tapes. Had this little boy, so he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for VHS.